Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Jerry Jones goes full maniacal supervillain mode while discussing Eagles' losing streak. The Philadelphia Eagles lost their third straight game on Monday night, dropping their record to 10-4. As a result, the Dallas Cowboys now sit atop the NFC East. Speaking during his weekly radio appearance on 105.3 The Fan, the 81-year-old Cowboys owner went full supervillain mode as he giddily described the Birds' latest defeat as being marvelous. The video below is queued up to begin when Jones starts to discuss Philly's loss on Monday Night Football. It was marvelous. I watched every bit of it. I thought I was about to doze off, but then when the Seahawks made those late-game plays, I couldn't sleep until 4 in the morning because of the impact it can have in our year, Jones said. While the Cowboys may currently be in possession of first place, and therefore the number 2 seed in the NFC, they're going to need some help if things are going to stay that way, as the Eagles still control their own destiny despite the losing streak. If the Eagles win their final 3 games of the season, 2 against the New York Giants, 1 against the Arizona Cardinals, the tiebreakers will be in their favor and they'll win the NFC East, becoming the first team to do so in consecutive seasons since 2005. The Cowboys' stretch run of games is far more difficult, as they'll be facing off against the Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions and Washington Commanders. Regardless of who ultimately wins the NFC East, both the Eagles and the Cowboys will eventually face the same challenge, and that's having to get past the number 1 seed San Francisco 49ers, who not only look like the best team in the NFL but have already steamrolled both of those squads during regular season's matchups this year. This weekend, the Cowboys will be heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins in a game that will give both teams the opportunity to prove they have what it takes to beat a quality opponent, which has been the main criticism levied against both franchises this season. Gerald Wayne Jones Sr., born October 13, 1942, is an American businessman who has been the owner, president, and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys of the National Football League, NFL, since February 1989. Jones was born in Los Angeles, California, to John, Pat, and Armanita Jones. The family moved back to North Little Rock, Arkansas, in 1945. His parents owned 2 branches of Pat's Supermarket in the Rose City neighborhood of North Little Rock. Jones was a running back at North Little Rock High School, graduating in 1960. After his graduation, Jones' parents moved to Springfield, Missouri, where Pat was president and chairman of Modern Security Life Insurance Company. The company, which an advertisement billed as a 1 in a million company, saw its assets increase from $440,299.76 in its first statement in 1961 to $6,230,607 in 1965. After graduating from the University of Arkansas, Gerald W. Jones was listed as an executive vice president. Buffalo Bills draw massive TV audiences in wins over Chiefs, Cowboys. The Buffalo Bills play in one of the smallest markets in the NFL, yet they've still managed to build a huge following across the country. If one is looking for evidence of the Bills' popularity, look no further than their recent TV ratings. According to Sports Media Watch, Buffalo's last 2 games have been the NFL's most-watched matchups in their respective weeks, with each drawing in over 26 million viewers. More precisely, the Bills' road game against the Kansas City Chiefs on December 10 drew an average of 26.04 million viewers for a 13.4 Nielsen rating. Sunday's home game against the Dallas Cowboys did even better, drawing in an average of 26.34 million viewers for a 13.3 Nielsen rating. Per Fox Sports PR, the Cowboys game was the highest-rated program for any network over the entire week. Granted, the Bills' opponents play a huge part in these ratings, as the Chiefs and Cowboys are 2 of the biggest draws on TV right now. That said, Buffalo still deserves credit for just how high the ratings are. After all, the Bills-Chiefs game beat the Cowboys' showdown against the Philadelphia Eagles later that night in terms of viewership, while the Bills-Cowboys matchup crushed the Chiefs game against the New England Patriots earlier in the day. Viewership is nice and all, but the most important part for the Bills is that they won both games and thrust themselves back into the playoff race in thrilling fashion. If Buffalo does complete the impressive turnaround to make the postseason, don't be surprised if its playoff games deliver similar ratings. Zach Martin injury status updated by Cowboys. The Cowboys hit the road on Sunday and looked like an unfamiliar group in a 31-10 shellacking at the hands of the Buffalo Bills. A bad road performance is something we've seen from the team and something Dallas has recovered from this season. Right guard Zach Martin went down in the game and was unable to return with what was later described as a quad injury. How bad is it, and will he miss time? Cowboys owner Jerry Jones doesn't think it's a huge issue but thinks they'll have to monitor it. "I know what a quad bruise is. We'll see how he gets his strength there," Jones told 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. A bruise does two things there: not only are they painful to work with, but they can also take the strength out of that area, too. So, got to get that back. That supports the words of Martin himself, who said after the game, "I'm hoping this week, treat it and get it ready to go on Sunday. I feel good about that." The team is expected to hold a walkthrough on Wednesday and have a full practice on Thursday ahead of another road matchup against an AFC East team, this time in Miami. If Martin is unable to go against the Dolphins on Sunday, the team will turn to undrafted rookie TJ Bass. Bass filled in for Martin in Buffalo, and offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer lauded his effort. "He did a nice job against Buffalo," Jerry said. Bass battled. That's kind of what he has done all year long. The best-case scenario is for Martin to play. In his absence, the Cowboys gained a season-low 195 total yards against the Bills. The task won't be any easier on Sunday, as the Dallas offense will face a Dolphins run defense that ranks number 4 in the NFL, allowing just 90.4 yards per game, and a passing defense that ranks number 10, allowing just 203.1 yards per contest. This has been a disjointed affair thus far for the Dallas Cowboys. The trip to Buffalo saw their defense march down the field on the opening drive and 2 offensive possessions that ended in punts. Most concerning, however, is that right guard and perennial All-Pro Zach Martin left the game during the second possession after being hit in the leg. Martin entered the blue medical tent for further assessment. Reports say that when he returned from the tent it was still being worked on the sidelines. And you fan, what do you think of the Zach Martin situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.